Good evening. For the thousands of people trying to get back to London from the Middle East, there was some hope this afternoon with a limited number of flights resuming. But it could take a long time for people to get seats booked. And in the meantime, that means staying in a region which is seeing a third day of bombings. Holidaymakers told us they feel trapped and scared by all the uncertainty. Meanwhile, Iranian Londoners here are torn between celebration and concern at the strikes being carried out by Israel and the US. We'll have more on that in a moment. But first, here's our political correspondent Simon Harris on those stranded amid the fighting.
3,500 miles from London, Dubai has become a destination of choice for Brits in search of winter sun. But now thousands of holidaymakers are trapped in luxury hotels in a war zone. 6-month-old Ronan won't remember this moment, but his parents from North London won't forget it.
The whole of Saturday night, hearing missiles being intercepted and the room vibrating, that was, probably the very worst of it.
Another couple, Katie and her husband Alex, travelled to Dubai from Essex for a big family holiday.
So this is the space that we're in. So we have got a small living area.
On Saturday night, their flight home was cancelled as the United Arab Emirates came under attack.
It was pretty scary, to be honest. We could hear missiles coming over our head during the night. We also had a really loud alert come on all our phones just before 2 o'clock in the morning. It's the loudest thing I've ever heard.
Even my wildest dreams, I never thought, okay, Dubai would be in the equation or in the firing line as well.
Nishit, a chartered accountant from Greenwich, is on a stopover on the way home from India. He and his wife and daughter were close by when the first missile landed.
And we were in Palm Jumeirah as well, quite near to, in fact, right next to the Fairmont, which obviously was under attack later that evening. So that was quite horrifying.
None of the Londoners stuck in their hotels knows when they'll be able to leave.
My son has quite a severe milk protein allergy. I've brought a bit extra of his formula with me as an emergency, luckily enough, but probably only enough to get me through till Friday evening. So ideally, as the days go on, I have that worry hanging over me as well.
I think it's sometimes for people, they texting me saying, oh, well, at least you can top up your tan and, a few more days in Dubai isn't the end of the world. But in reality, we're in a high-rise city block. We can't leave our rooms. We've got, a young child that we want to get home.
Very desperate, especially my wife. She's really stressed and anxious. So, we're just staying tight in the hotel, following all the protocols, whatever, we are being guided by the UK embassy or the UAE local authorities.
We just want to go home, and I think not knowing is the worst thing.
Tonight there was a glimmer of hope. The airline Emirates said it was hoping to operate a limited number of flights from Dubai, and an Etihad plane from Abu Dhabi should land at Heathrow later this evening. Simon Harris, ITV News.
Well, back here, there were extraordinary celebrations over the weekend as some Iranian Londoners welcomed the killing of the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But tempering that joy was a deep worry for relatives back in Iran and a fear that even London might not offer safety from the Iranian regime, as Kafo Pata reports.
From central London to north, the Iranian flag flies proudly, a symbol of the joy some feel at the death of the Ayatollah.
I'm happy for Iranian people because I'm here, but I see the people is happy and my feeling is very, very good.
Are you happy about the death of the Ayatollah?
Yeah, 100%. All the Iranian is happy.
Over the weekend, US and Israeli missiles fell from Iranian sky. And as they did, street parties erupted in East Finchley. Amongst those celebrating were Gassam and Maysam. In Farsi, he tells me how he thought this day would never come. A feeling shared by Maysam.
Last 2 nights people are celebrating and dancing in Finchley Central, North Finchley, even in Golders Green, in central London, because they've been suffering for almost 47 years.
Here at the Persian Advice Bureau, the phones have been ringing non-stop. Iranian callers worried about what happens now to them and their families.
Mental-wise, people have been under trauma. We want to go back. We have not heard from our family. How could we go back? And of course, there was no voluntary return. They can't go back. And so it's been pretty tough, specifically on the asylum seekers.
Opposite the Iranian embassy in Hyde Park, a reminder of the dangers that still exist. Each of these faces a person killed for criticising the regime.
Are you scared yourself?
I am, yeah. I'm scared for my family. I'm scared for close friends, people who have messaged me asking me to stop what I'm doing, to stop being an activist for my people. But at this point, I feel like my silence would just lead to more deaths.
Maz and the people here have good reason to be worried. It's well known that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, Iran's military and intelligence units, plan and attack dissidents across the world, including here in London. Yes, the Ayatollah may be dead, but this group is still very much active. No one knows what the future holds for this country. They hope the dust of war settles quickly, the missiles stop, and from the rubble, a safer Iran. Kaf Hopata, ITV News.
Well, our political correspondent Simon Harris has joined us in the studio. Simon, what advice is there for anybody that's currently stranded abroad?
Well, at the moment, the government is telling Britons in the Gulf region to register online with the Foreign Office, and so far more than 100,000 have done so. So Keir Starmer said the government was looking at all options, but with much of the airspace still too dangerous to fly in, there is no clear evacuation plan at the moment. Now, aside from the logistics challenges, the Prime Minister is also facing political pressure over his decision to allow the Americans to use British air bases to launch bombing raids on Iranian missile sites. Some London Labour MPs are far from happy. And although we've not heard from the mayor yet, his spokesperson said Sadiq Khan was deeply concerned by the conflict.
OK, Simon, thanks very much. OK, let's look at some other news now. And a man's denied criminal damage after graffiti was sprayed on a statue of Sir Winston Churchill, branding the former Prime Minister a Zionist war criminal. The bronze monument in Parliament Square was defaced with phrases including "Stop the Genocide" and "Free Palestine." Casper San-Giorgio was arrested on Friday and charged with criminal damage in the early hours of Saturday. And the Metropolitan Police is missing nearly half of its officers' DNA from its records. The databases are used to exclude officers' DNA from samples taken at crime scenes. Missing data could also hamper the force's ability to catch criminals in its own ranks. The Met says it's working to improve data gathering. Next tonight, they were only in London for a quick visit, but one family being in the wrong place at the wrong time has been life-changing. Last May, a man on a motorbike fired bullets into a restaurant in Hackney. It was part of a long-running gang feud, but the victim was an innocent 9-year-old girl sitting with her family. Speaking publicly for the first time, but with their identities protected, her parents told Helen Keenan they feel they've lost the child they used to have.
A family simply on a day trip to London, left to shelter from shots fired into this restaurant, becoming the innocent victims of a gunman on a motorbike, acting in a bloody gang rivalry.
So then when I looked at the window, I saw like a round hole there. That's when it struck me like it could be a bullet.
This is how their daughter's life used to look, before that bullet became lodged permanently in her brain. At 9 years old, that stray shot has changed her life forever.
I kept screaming that somebody should help my daughter. She was lying on my cousin's lap on the floor. She didn't open her eyes, she didn't talk. Those were the worst days of her life.
Against all odds, she survived, but has had to learn to eat and walk again. Her brain injury remains, and she still can't use the left side of her body.
She was a part of choir, gymnastics, fencing, swimming, and it's hard now. She don't have that much of friends.
It was by chance they were in the Evan restaurant in Dalston. Collateral damage of a suspected organised hit on 3 men sitting outside by the Tottenham Turks on their rivals, the Hackney Bombacillas. Connected to the gang is Javon Riley, who drove the getaway car. He'd scoped out the site for weeks and has since been jailed. but the shooter is walking free. Police are still trying to find him 18 months on.
If the cops can give us justice, that's good, so that it won't happen to any other people. But personally, we lost our child, and she's not coming back in the old way.
What do you think about the gang violence that's in London and how that affects innocent families?
She keep asking me, okay, we can go to London one day, but I don't have the courage to take her with me. And I never felt London the same way after this. Just because there is two gangs and I don't know what benefit they are getting out of all of this, but it is destroying like common people's life in a fraction of a second.
They're raising money through a Just Giving page to help pay for her care and the cost of their visas to stay in the UK. If they return to India, they won't be able to afford all the care she needs.
When you talk about what happened, do you talk about that with her and what does she say?
The first expression from her was like, then I am a miracle, I'm still living and in front of you both, which was the first response what we got from her when we discussed everything and said, you are still living with a bullet in your head, which actually made us feel so proud of her.
Their little miracle, they say, is the strongest member of their family. Helen Keenan, ITV News.
Still to come on the programme, Sally's here with the weather, plus...
Set him up with the first technique and reaction, I can throw him with the second one.
The rising star of judo fighting for his place at the Olympics. And joining us in the studio, the stars of a new film celebrating the joy and comfort of your local pub. But first, with the new working week comes a rise in the cost of getting around the city. Journeys on the Underground, Overground and DLR have gone up by 5.8%. That's above the rate of inflation. Well, Antoine Allen is at Farringdon Station for us. So, Antoine, can you talk us through the changes?
Yeah, so commuters around the capital have been travelling on the first full day of the 5.8% increase. Now, what does that look like in reality? Well, TfL say that most pay-as-you-go journeys will see a 10 to 20 pence increase. Well, let's break that down by zones. Zone 1 trips will see a 20p increase for both peak and off-peak times. Zone 1 to 2 will see a peak time 10p increase and a 20p off-peak increase. Zone 1 to 3 will see the same 10p increase for peak time and 20p for off-peak increase. And Zone 1 to 4 will see a 20p increase for both peak and off-peak fares. And Zone 1 to 5 will see a 10p increase for peak time and 20p increase for off-peak time. And Zone 1 to 6 will see an increase of 10p for peak times and 20p for off-peak times. Now, cash fares, also known as single tickets, will have a £7 freeze for Zone 1 to 6 where TfL fares are applied. Now, the full list of fares can be found on the TfL website, but those people who have already travelled would have seen the increase in their wallets, and the ones we spoke to weren't happy.
I don't feel like it's fair. I feel like they're already being increasingly unaffordable for a lot of Londoners, and I feel like, especially on tight budgets, you go to Outer London where you're in Zone 6, so you have to get to Zone 1. That is extortionate nowadays.
When they increase, your employer does not increase according to the way they increase. So that one is really affecting people.
If you're spending £6 a day, then that's 30 quid a week, every week, and it's like prices of everything are increasing, so yeah, it's tough.
TfL do say the reason for the increase was a condition of the £2.2 billion pay deal they had with the central government in the spending review, whereas City Hall says an emergency cost of living condition was introduced, and the Mayor has decided to use City Hall budgets to help commuters by a freeze to bus and tram fares until the 5th of July 2026. And those people who are affected by the increase will be looking to see a change in their experience that reflects the increase in fare costs, whereas TfL says that all revenue will be put back into travel services.
All right, Antoine, thanks very much. Next, we know all about pubs and bars closing down in London, but now a film hoping to get people back to their local with a story that shows how they bring communities and families together.
We can't afford to buy beer, we need to brew it.
A few pints of home brew ain't going to put us back in the black.
What are you doing?
Making water more interesting. That'll put a head on your chest.
That could be classed as attempted murder.
That's Mother's Pride, and we're joined now by two of its stars, South London's finest, James Buckley and Jono Davies, who honed his craft right here in the capital. Thank you both for joining us. As a South Londoner, I had to call you South London's finest, because that's how we work around here, James.
I'll take it.
Yeah, take it.
Local legend.
It seems like a really fun film to be involved in. Did you enjoy it, Jono?
Oh, it was gorgeous. We had a great time, didn't we?
It was
we
good.
were
It was really
down
good.
in Somerset, with people like James and Martin and Mark. It was just really fun.
We shot it during the summer as well. It was really, really great. So it was like a little holiday camp.
Yeah.
Just really enjoyed ourselves, yeah.
Is it quite fun working with Martin? Had you worked with him before?
I'd not worked with him before. It's too fun working with him.
Really?
He's naughty, isn't he? He's a cheeky boy.
Oh, no, don't say that. I seem like the elder statesman of acting.
That's because he's a good actor, that's why.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And the problem is he's really good at switching it on and off. So when the cameras start rolling, he's very serious and he can get on it. But I'm still laughing at what you did 30 seconds earlier.
That's brilliant. So this film is all about, you play brothers.
Yeah.
And you go back home to your home village because you're trying to help your dad save his pub. And I think the film is really a really good love letter to brotherhood, to father-son relationships, and to friendship as well, which is really rather beautiful. Did you feel that, Jono?
Yeah, totally. As you said, it's a fragmented family that are trying to pull together and kind of defeat the odds, and it's an underdog story as a family, and it's one of those things where they clearly care for each other even though there's issues going on. So having that kind of the family reuniting and defying the odds is a lovely story to tell.
Yeah, and it's also a love letter to local pubs because I think sometimes we don't understand about the joy that can come from your local pub until suddenly they're under threat and they go.
Yeah, it's sad to see what's happening. I mean, I practically grew up in my working men's club that was near me. It was right next door to my primary school.
Yeah.
It was on our estate. Every Friday, Saturday night, all my friends would be there, all our parents would be there. We all knew each other. It just was the hub of the community.
Yeah. Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
that's
It's not as busy as it used to be.
Yeah. But again, people realise what they've got and when it's gone, which is too late.
It was so important to us in our community. It really was.
Jono, do you have a favourite local that you still frequent?
There's the one that I think like when I go home for Christmas, there's the Wavendon Arms in Milton Keynes, which is like the Christmas pub that we go to. And I'd go with my family, I might see some friends on Christmas Eve, and it's that kind of nostalgia.
Yeah. And do you see loads of people from school and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And I think people, we should cherish the things that we have because, there are so many communities who are brought together by a pub. And that's what this film shows, right? Because you see everybody from every sort of walk of life coming into your dad's pub in this film, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a very positive film. It's a feel-good film. I think it's a nice little tonic at the moment with current things going on, which you know more than most, obviously. So it's a joyous film.
So Jono, I feel like there's a bit of a musical career building here because you did the voice, body and motion capture, playing Robbie Williams in his biopic Better Man. And you also sing 3 songs in this film. Are you a frustrated solo artist?
It's happened. I've said before, I was an X Factor reject when I was 15.
Were
so
you?
I'm just slowly clawing my way back.
He wasn't supposed to sing in it, but he demanded.
I forced my way in.
You're like, I'm not being in it.
They said, we'll give you a song, then he went 3.
3, I'm not doing it.
I've heard you're very demanding, Jono.
I am.
To be
I'm
fair.
very difficult to work with.
Yeah.
It's James.
Well, I can tell you someone who's never difficult to work with, and that's Sarcelle, because she's in the studio to do the weather. But since we're talking about local pubs, have you got a local pub that you like hanging out in?
I absolutely... Is that a rhetorical question? I absolutely do. The Plough, I love it. But do you prefer it in winter or summer, the pub? That's the question.
It doesn't matter to me. It's just, I love going to the pub. I am so excited when I know I'm going to the pub that evening. I cannot believe my luck. In the summer, it's brilliant. Go out in the garden, sun's shining.
Yes.
In the winter, little fireplace.
Oh,
it's great.
You really are selling it.
We're going tonight.
Definitely going to the pub after work. But the sun is shining, so we can go all outside of the pub, can't we?
Well, exactly. New season pleasant new weather and we've got out of that rut of winter. So meteorological winter is December, January, February, so it's now spring. But take a look at this map, okay, because the stats have come out for winter. And you can see that we had the grey shows, the red there shows that our temperatures were above average. But if we show you the other map, the grey, hopefully you can see that our sunshine was below average. It was literally grey. And this one shows the rain, that the rain was wetter than average. So it's been a pretty miserable winter for us to endure, I suppose the word is. Hence, why not go to the pub? So what's changed? Well, spring's here. 3 things. We've got high pressure, so it's a little bit more settled.
Yeah.
We've got some sunshine in the mix as well. There is some cloud, but on top of that, also, we've got some warmer weather coming. Yeah. So a little bit of southerly air coming up for us to feel a little bit better on Wednesday and Thursday.
Brilliant. Well, Jono and James, thank you so much for joining us. And Sally, let's do your weather.
Indeed. Here we go.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello again and a very good evening to you. Well, this scene just reminds me of Easter and not long to go. Beautiful out there. This week there will be some cloud, a bit more tomorrow, but also some lovely sunny spells. It's mostly dry. The odd splash of rain is possible. And we've got some milder days to come. They'll probably peak on Thursday, but still some chilly nights. So let's take a look at the pressure chart. You can see why and what. So we've got high pressure over us, keeping things a bit more settled. This front comes through probably Thursday night, but it does break up. We might therefore get a bit more cloud around on Friday. Maybe it might start off a little bit damp. We'll keep an eye on that, but look, settling down into the weekend again. So here we go with the detail. Outside tonight, lots of clear skies. There is some cloud around and possibly a little bit of mist and fog, a few pockets here or there. It's going to be quite chilly. Those temperatures coming down to low to mid single figures. So a bit of a fresh start as we go into tomorrow and a cloudier setup for us. There will be some sunshine as we go through the day though, hopefully a bit emerging where you are, probably more to the east. That cloud might be a little bit more stubborn to the west and it should be, as I said, a dry day. If there is any rain, there might just be a bit first thing. Highs of 11 to 13 degrees, so still above average, but just a touch down on today. And then as we go into the rest of the week, you can see it's looking pretty decent for Wednesday and Thursday. We're hoping for some nice sunshine. Those temperatures coming up to the mid-teens, so it will feel quite warm. You'll want your coat first thing, but you might be a bit hot by the afternoon. Have a super evening. I'll see you later on. Cheerio.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
And finally, the 21-year-old fighting in every sense for a spot on the British Olympics judo team. Ben Levy was past a milestone in his journey to Los Angeles 2028 by winning a bronze medal at the prestigious tournament in Paris. Toby Sadler spent the morning with Ben at his training club in Chelsea, the oldest judo club in Europe.
Ben Levy's been fighting for 17 years, but he's still only 21. He started judo here at the Budokwai Club in Chelsea, aged 4.
It was a way to get us out of the house on Saturday morning, burn off some energy. It took a while until that thought of, oh, I might be quite good at this came, because I was not very talented as a kid. It was a lot of technical work with my 2 coaches, but I just always enjoyed fighting.
His coaches saw something special from the start.
Something happened in here. I just said, who wants to be Olympic champion? And this boy put his hand up, and I was like, move your hand, what are you talking about? He's only little. But in my inside, I was like, wow, this kid was going to be dangerous.
Now Ben's won bronze at his first visit to the Paris Grand Slam, one of the most prestigious judo tournaments, beating some of the world's best along the way.
Hungry for the medal, I'd say. Got into the fight, had a good plan, was sticking to the plan, and then I got caught and went down score. But it didn't even cross my mind that I was losing. I was just like, okay, keep hunting, because maybe like 30 seconds later I caught him back for a bigger score with Ari. So then I was winning. I was just in shock, really. I hadn't processed it that the fight was over. I was still ready for them to tell us to keep going.
Ben has even greater ambitions and is back in training.
So we're fighting for the grip again. I'm trying to get where I want to be. and be able to move him. And I said to him, once I'm on the rappel, set him up with the first technique, and with reaction, I can throw him with the second one.
Ben's other coach, David, is keeping his skills sharp.
Then jump finish.
Olympic champion, is that too much?
It's not too much. You cannot say being Olympic champion is too much.
It's got a potential.
Be potential. Be potential to do it. Be potential to be a world champion as well. It's working together, keeping the mindset clear, and the diamond will shine.
Qualification for the Olympics starts this year. There's only one spot on the British team in Ben's weight class. Expect some fierce fighting between now and LA 2028 as Ben tries to win that place. Toby Sadler, ITV News.
A reminder of our main stories in London tonight. Holidaymakers stranded in the Middle East have told us they feel trapped by the fighting there and are waiting for flights home. This afternoon, a limited number of flights from Dubai restarted. An estimated 100,000 Britons have registered their presence in the Gulf with the UK government. And here, some Iranian Londoners have been celebrating the killing of Iran's supreme leader, but also say they're concerned for their families amid continued bombing and are fearful of what might come next. Well, the evening news is after us, and they'll have all the latest developments from the Middle East. But for now, from all of us on the London team, enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.